It's open.
You got it?
Yeah.
Once he's on, can you just make him post?
Yes.
I don't think that. I think for the markets to go up, we basically have to continue to open the economy and not have a flare.
Hey, good morning, everybody. What's happening? So lovely to see all your bright and shining faces, bright and early on a Wednesday morning. Happy 9 a.m. Alrighty, let's dive in. We have a whole lot to cover this morning, plus Marty Miller. So let's jump right in. I think that we're going to start. I think Tammy, are you on?
I'm here.
I told Tammy yesterday it was
Hello.
like Bueller, Greenwich.
Good morning, everybody. I apologize. The nurse, the visiting nurse kind of walked in just as this meeting was starting, and I had to deal with that. And then I got a phone call that just went on and on at 4:30 yesterday. So good to see you all. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to talk to you guys. A lot of people have been asking about closing costs. So I thought I would just kind of give you the 4 breakdowns of closing costs. You've got the lender fee, the attorney fee, you've got third-party fees, which include the title insurance and the appraisal, and you have your taxes and escrows. So I'm thinking what I'll do over these is I'll kind of stick with that category and then kind of break them down so you kind of understand how closing costs, because a lot of people don't realize that they have to put down the down payment plus the closing costs. I talked to a client yesterday who thought that the seller paid all the closing costs. So I just figured, we could work on that way you guys have an idea of what's expected. I mean, I know you all know that, but this way you can kind of break it down. So your 4 categories, you've got your lender, your attorney, third party, which includes the appraisal and the title insurance, and your taxes and escrows. So that's your little fun mortgage minute for today. Rick, thank you so much. And you guys have an awesome day.
Thank you so much, Tammy. We appreciate your update. All right, I think that's Steve. We also have some shift winners from yesterday. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. We are happy to announce 2 shift winners from yesterday, and there will be 2 winners again today at 4:30. We have Ann Callie and Raquel Martin. So please come get your shift books and start reading. Awesome. Also, while I have the floor, can I continue?
Yeah, sure.
So red day, guys, tomorrow, red, Keller Williams, red day, purple, Circle of Care. Look what I found in the closet here in the office. Isn't that cool? We have everything in that closet. So you guys have received emails from me and Dan about all the information you need for Circle of Care and Red Day. So we're partnering with them. We want to raise awareness for Circle of Care tomorrow. Everybody's wearing their red and purple tomorrow, guys. Everywhere. Always wear it. Take pictures of yourself. You're showing houses, take pictures. If you're out and about getting lock boxes from here, take pictures. Going to the food bank, take pictures. We're going to be taking screenshots of everybody. Hopefully we'll have a couple hundred of us on tomorrow for Red Day. We're going to take screenshots and use that. So if you have the logos, here's the joint logo, Red Day, KW Cares, and Circle of Care. This is for Stanford, Keller Williams Prestige Properties, Circle of Care. You have those logos in your email, and you have a zip file too with all kinds of information about Circle of Care. Feel free to dive into that and use that as well. So tomorrow, guys, wear red. Can't wait to see you. Awesome. Thanks.
All righty. Thank you so much. Remember, Red Day comes around once a year, so let's make sure that we really knock it out of the park tomorrow. A couple of other quick announcements before we get to our main topic for this morning. Number one, just some plugs for things that are going on later today. At 1 o'clock, we have our second ALC-led panel, and that is all about creating urgency on the seller side, creating urgency on the buyer side, creating urgency inside of your own business. Urgency is a big conversation that we need to be having nowadays, and so we have 3 awesome ALC members serving as your panelists this afternoon at 1 o'clock to give you tips, tricks, scripts, and strategies that they are using to make sure that strategy shows up in their world and in the worlds of their clients. So do tune in for that. And of course, at 7 o'clock tonight, we do have our May investor seminar. The first one we're doing Zoomed and online, so that'll be awesome. So we look forward to seeing you and your clients at 7 o'clock on that. Do me a favor, if you have, I'm trying to control the forum in terms of questions and make sure I get to everyone. I do have someone who'll be assisting with the chat room. But if you or your clients have any specific questions that you want to make sure are answered, send them to me earlier if you can, so that I can work that into the conversation instead of getting sucked over into the chat box for all questions. So if you have anything specific, send that to me early. If your clients have asked you anything specific, send that to me earlier. I'll make sure that those get answered in the course of the regular conversation, and then we will open for Q&A via the chat box throughout the program. Another quick announcement, the .loop, just remember that .loop is gone by Monday. So if anyone having their last minute love affair fling with .loop, say goodbye. It's time to move forward, right? So for the last couple of weeks, we've had to submit everything through command. And yet, if you're still using .loop as a digital signature tool, that will vanish on over the weekend. So, so dive into DocuSign classes. I know they're happening all the rest of this week, and they will continue next week. So, do plug into that. Nancy, where is my friend Nancy? Nancy has a rate update for us, I believe, this morning. How are you, Nancy?
Unmute. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Nancy Morgan from Westport Mortgage. If you are out and about, interested in clients with jumbo loans that they're looking at, 10-year ARM, about 3.125, or any other questions, please give us a call, text about anything mortgage related. Happy to talk. Have a great day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nancy. We appreciate that update. Okay, one last thing before we dive into our money conversation. I wanted to make an offer, and I want to make an offer to the folks on this call first. Any of you who are struggling or have questions or don't know exactly where to go, or just need someone to talk to or ask a question about the whole unemployment, PUA, PPP, alphabet soup, whatever. If you haven't taken advantage of the information that we've shared on these calls, if you haven't watched those videos, go ahead and watch some of because some of your answers can be answered there. However, if you're still struggling or you can't find the answers anyplace else, please use me as a resource. I want to just make sure that that everyone has what they need. Please don't suffer in silence. There's no harm in saying, I don't get this, and there's no harm in saying, this seems like it should be easier than it is. I helped someone yesterday just find the place where a button was hiding because she just couldn't find the button. And so sometimes it's really simple and sometimes it's less simple, but we'll grab 5 minutes on the phone or we'll grab 10 minutes on a Zoom. I want to make sure that you have a resource, and I'm happy to be that resource for you. So you guys get my time first because you showed up this morning. If you know someone else in the Market Center who is struggling, please pass them my way. I will tomorrow be sending out a blast email to the Market Center for anyone who's not on these calls with an offer of assistance, but I did want to make sure that you got it first. So just let me know and we'll handle that together. Alrighty, so in our remaining minutes before Adonis intros Marty Miller for today, I wanted to just quickly run through a couple of more money conversations. These will be fast and furious, so get that pen and paper ready. The first thing is this. We can talk all we want about money and making money and urgency to make money and growing wealth and all that stuff. Yet one thing that I have learned is that if you have no idea why you're making the money doesn't show up. And so you've got to take that whole financial plan that you have and back up a half a step and spend some time really focused in on what you want your life to look like and why you want it to look that way. What are you going to utilize those funds for? Why is that important to you? Why is it important to the world? Why is it important to the people that you care about? And get really specific about the what and the why. Because when you get really clear about the what and the why, who you're affecting, how you're affecting them, what that means for you, it could be as simple as this. It can be as simple as sitting with a bucket list. This is not a fancy form, as you can see, not a fancy form. It's 1 through 50. But do you have that? Do you have a bucket list? Do you know why you want to create the wealth that you want to create and what you're going to start checking off? This doesn't have to necessarily be selfish stuff. It could be, how much do you want to give to your church? What animal in the world do you want to join the cause to save? You know, what places do you want to visit? What things do you want to accomplish? All of that takes focus, and most of it takes money, right? So get real clear about what it is you are looking to make money for, and the clearer you get on that, the faster those funds will show up. I promise you that. You have to get clarity on the why, however. How much time we got? All right, we got 4 minutes. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you a couple of questions for this morning. You're all focused in on our $1,000 challenge by Friday at 4:30. So keep working on an expense cut for a 4:30 conversation around that. Write these questions down. I want you to spend time answering these questions. Question number 1, what do I do really well when it comes to money? There's a second part of that question, and the second part is prove it. So what do I do really well as it relates to money, and then prove it. Question 2, what areas can I improve as it relates to money? What area or areas could I improve as it relates to money? Just be honest with yourself. What do I do really well? What do I not do too well? Where could I improve? And then I want you to create strategies around your answers for number 1 and number 2. Strategies to keep doing that thing really well and to get even better at it, and strategies to help you improve in the areas where you believe you can improve. Question number 3. Some of you aren't going to like this question. What debt do I have? I want you to list it out. I want you to get really clear about what you owe. You heard that young man the other day on the call, right? Talk about the fact that we don't have debt because debt means you owe somebody money. And that's just not smart. So I want you to do 2 things. I want you to make 2 columns. I want you to write 1 column that says primary residence. And underneath that, I want you to write what you owe on your primary residence. And the other column is everything else. Everything else. And I want you to tally up all that you owe on the everything else. Question number 4. What plan do I have to get both of those columns to 0? What plan do I have to get both of those columns to 0? And the second part of that question is, in what period of time? In what period of time? Right? You need a strategy to help you get rid of that debt. Focus on all the other debt first. Once you're done there, then we can argue about whether or not you want to pay down your house. Our mortgage partners may have different answers than I do, but I think paying down that house is an awesome thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for that, Karen. But what's the plan? Question number 5. What am I willing to sacrifice today to have a more powerful financial tomorrow? What am I willing to sacrifice today to have a more powerful financial tomorrow? Guys, if there is one thing I have learned in my life in 50 years and 2.5 months, is without sacrifice, the good stuff doesn't show up later on. You've got to be willing to sacrifice something now for the better tomorrow. You can't have everything you want when you want it right now and still have that tomorrow. Right? There's got to create a balance. So what are you willing to sacrifice today? What might you stop doing today so that 5 years from now you can have more than what you ever thought you could 5 years from now? I want you to really focus on what a more powerful financial future looks like for you. It kind of relates to everything that we just wrote down above, plus the habits that we talked about earlier this week. Number 6, who is my financial mentor? Who is my financial mentor? Are you a Dave Ramsey guy? Are you a Mike Michalowicz guy with Profit First? Like, who are you hitching your financial wagon to? 16 years ago, I chose to hitch my financial wagon to Gary Keller. It was a really good choice. I keep focusing in on what has he done and who is he talking to and what is he focusing on, so that we can continue to drive that forward together. All right, number 7, what vehicles have I chosen to grow wealth and why? This is another prove it moment. What vehicles have I chosen to grow wealth? What vehicles have I chosen to grow wealth? One of the things that we're going to do, I'm just planning it now, is for anyone who's interested, we're going to have like a financial summit. And we're just going to sit and be really, really transparent with each other and look at portfolios, kind of look at who has what. And okay, why are you invested in that? How is that making you money? Maybe I should put some of my money there. Why do you have those things? Why did you buy that property? Right? And so we can just get those conversations going. And the last one for today, what next step will I take? What next step will I take to grow my net worth in 2020? Do me a favor. Don't just listen to those questions and move on to Marty Miller. Take those questions to heart. Understand that those questions will help move you forward. You've got to start asking your brain better questions to help your brain start giving you better answers, right? If you keep asking the same questions, or worse, no questions at all, your brain doesn't do a whole lot of work trying to find the answers. So let's get really clear about the money conversation, start asking ourselves questions to give ourselves better answers, which creates better results. Make sense? All right, guys, that's what I have for you this morning. I will send out those questions via email as well, because I know some of you are sometimes driving and whatnot and cannot write, so I will send those out. Adonis, take us into Marty Miller.
Very awesome class. I'm looking forward to that financial summit, Rick. That's a great idea, too. So Marty is going to continue with us day 33. We're halfway through the challenge. How awesome is that? Smart Plans continues today. We're going to talk about neighborhoods. We're going to talk about quarterly calls, midterm and long-term smart plans.
Hyundai has options to shop for a vehicle online, and a participating dealer will deliver it right to you.
Good afternoon, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 3.0, Day 33. Hope everyone had an amazing Christmas Eve and Christmas holiday. Enjoyed that with friends, family, plenty of gifts, plenty of food, and hope everyone's ready to get back at it because today is the 26th and we're back on the KW Command 66-Day Challenge. So lately we've been talking about smart plans. Today I wanted to run you through kind of a brief overhaul of 5 of those smart plans so you can take a look at those. So again, to get the smart plans, we're the 4th icon down. We're going to click on that icon to get into the smart plan submenu or applet. We're going to get into the library right now. I basically just want to walk through these first 5 smart plans with you, and tomorrow we'll do the other ones and then do probably 1 or 2 more challenges to wrap up smart plans, head on to the next topic. So monthly neighborhood nurture. This is, in my opinion, probably one of the top 2 smart plans that you could put somebody on. Would be a neighborhood nurture and quarterly call plan. Just a teaser alert, that's going to be the other one. So the monthly neighborhood nurture, what that is basically it's going to send out an HTML email, and that you can actually, I would first recommend setting yourself up on one of those emails so you can see what they look like. But they are very graphic rich, they're very content heavy. They will show your client information about what's active and what has gone under contract in the neighborhood that you assign them to during the contract creation process. So we know sometimes we put the address in and Command automatically assigns them to a neighborhood. If you added them to this smart plan, then they would start receiving information about that auto-assigned neighborhood. In addition, you have the ability to add additional neighborhoods should you like to, and then they would get an email with multiple neighborhoods in that. So this basically sends out that email. It's then going to wait 28 days, and then it's going to send the email again, and it's going to send them a monthly or a neighborhood nurture email every single month or every 28 days, if you will. So a great way for your clients to kind of be up to date about what's happening in their market, in their neighborhood, and yet not feel like they're getting too spammed because it's only once a month. Now, if you have a client that is a little more ready to go, maybe they're considering selling a lot more heavily than just a typical monthly neighborhood nurture, you do have the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So this would be great for sellers or buyers. If I have buyers in a particular neighborhood that want to see kind of what's happening, they know they want to buy in the next 3 to 6 months in a couple of different neighborhoods, then they could work on that aspect and kind of say, okay, how soon do I want to buy and what's happening there? So that's the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. And that one basically goes 14 days and then sends the email again. So 14 days and sends it out again, and then 14 days, sends it out again. So you can kind of see what that looks like. The next smart plan that we have is the quarterly call plan. That's number 3. Basically, the steps on this one are, it's going to send you a task to call this person. And you can see this is exactly right here, this box that shows up when I hover over it. This is what's going to show up in your task manager. So it's going to tell you to call this person as part of the quarterly call plan. It's going to wait 90 days, and it's going to tell you to call that person again. So we talked before the holidays there about the ability to add contacts to this smart plan over a series of time, kind of staggered. So you could add, 1, 2, 3, 5 people every day for the next 7 to 8 days and kind of stagger that out. So a great way to maybe time block your week. Every Monday morning, I'm going to add, 30 contacts to that smart plan and then move on and, keep on going from there. So that's the quarterly call plan. And then finally, the last 2 we have are the midterm and a long-term nurture. Now, these are a little bit more diverse of a smart plan, kind of show you some of the additional things that we can do there. So when we dive into the midterm nurture smart plan, you can see this is 6 steps for 90 days and includes 2 touches. And I actually think it includes more than that if you take a look at it, right? So first thing it's going to do is add the client to the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Okay, now this is bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So every 2 weeks, right, every 14 days, they're going to get an email from you. So it says that this is only 2 touches. However, they're also linking to a bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. So 28, it's probably 6 to 7 emails that they're going to get for you. The next thing it's going to do is it's going to wait 14 days, and it's going to send you a task to call them. And then it's going to wait 14 days, and it's either going to send a text on your behalf as long as you have your Twilio account set up and activated, or it's going to send you a task reminder to send out a text. And here are some example texts that it recommends sending. So you can see 1, 2, 3, it's a 90-day plan. These would get sent out every 28 days, and they would be sent out as long as Twilio was connected in this order. So you'd see number 1 would go out on day, what would it be, day 28. And then number 2 would go out on day 56. And then number 3 would go out on day, what's that, 84, I think, if that math is correct. So that is the midterm nurture. So general check-in with a recently met contact to offer expertise for something real estate specific. And then you have the long-term nurture. So this is actually 8 steps, and it goes 180 days. You can see, however, the first step is to add someone to the monthly neighborhood nurture. So I would think that this is someone that's maybe not quite as hot to trot, not quite as active of a buyer, but you just want to kind of stay in touch a little more than just 1 month or 1 call per quarter. So we start off with monthly neighborhood nurture. We delay 10 days. Then it sends you a task to call them, waits 10 days. Then it sends you what's called a touch task. It's the first time we've seen this in a smart plan. It basically says send a value email, buyer or seller, to contact first or last as part of the long-term nurture smart plan. So what could a value email be? It might be an invite to a community event that's happening in their neighborhood. It might be a reminder, hey, just so you know, you probably have a lot of extra, holiday wrapping, recycling happens every Thursday. Or, hey guys, if you're looking to get rid of old toys because your kids got a bunch of new toys, heavy trash day happens the 1st and 3rd Monday of every month. Something like that, right? Some kind of, maybe it's a Keller Mortgage email, or something about Keller offers, Keller Covered. A lot of different opportunities for value emails here. It's going to wait 10 days, and then it's going to suggest or automatically send out a text. And here are those 6 texts that it's going to work through over the 180 days that this program runs. So again, the long-term nurture, 180 days. It's going to send out during that time, that's 6 months, it'll send out 6 emails. During that time, right, you're obviously going to do 6 phone calls, 6 touch tasks, and 6 text messages. So even though it says 3 touches, it really is more than that because it's, 3 touches per cycle. However, it's a 180-day cycle, so significant larger number of touches for your client there. But that's basically the long-term nurture, your midterm nurture, your quarterly call plan, and then the monthly and bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Tomorrow, we're going to get into the rest of these smart plans, kind of walk through those and discuss them a little bit further. And I'll look forward to speaking with you about those tomorrow. As always, hope you're having a great day, great weekend, or great rest of the week.
So we're starting to see why they call these smart plans, right? If you utilize these, it can really help your business out. Tomorrow, we're going to learn about the 8x8, the birthday smart plan, the open house, and the home anniversary. So that'll be awesome. And that's all I got for you. I hope you have
I have a quick question for you.
Oh, man. Yeah.
What about the 33 touch plans and everything that on the regular KW, site? Are they going away, or is it a duplicate? Do we need to go in and stop those when we move over to Command, or what? Do we need to find out?
So Market Leader is still active for KW Agent, so you can continue using your 33 touch in Market Leader if you want to continue doing that. However, what I will say is that we are going to be transitioning away from Market Leader at some point. The new system with Command, it doesn't have like what we've known as a traditional 33 touch, and the main reason for that is because the 33 touch in Market Leader was just, it wasn't the only thing automated about it were the monthly emails.
Right.
Everything else had to be done by you, and all it really did was give you reminders to do so. With Command, you're able to automate things like the emails as well as text messages. And Command allows you to kind of create your own 33 touch using different types of touch programs. So you can create, you can have like the monthly neighborhood nurture like Marty just showed us, or the biweekly neighborhood nurture like Marty just showed us. And then you can add in like a birthday smart plan, which sends out a text, a social post, and everything else, right? And so you kind of build your own 33 touch. And by doing it that way, it allows you to really kind of customize what your touches are for each of your clients.
Okay, thanks, Dan. So it's telling me move away from the market leader.
Yeah, my recommendation would be to migrate away from market leader and start getting those people and start getting them on some of these smart plans in Command, because there are some really simple ones. I mean, you can get probably at least 33 touches just using the smart plans that are templated in Command for you already. And really, you should be doing more. I mean, 33 touch was the old MREA model. And even since then, that's been upgraded to like a 36 touch. And most of the best practices are showing things as high as like 42, 45, 46 touches a year, depending on what those touches are. So
Thank you.
you're welcome. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow.